guys, it's Senti Reads, and as you can see by the video title, today I'm going to be rewriting some of Amberlynn's vampire short story that she posted on Ask.fm. I found this on the subreddit, and the screenshot says that this was posted over 1 year ago, but I don't know when this screenshot was taken, so I can't tell you exactly when Amberlynn wrote this vampire short story, but I'm sure she was an adult, so that's enough for me to rip it to shreds. If you like this video, I've done some rewrites for Hello Darling as well, but I sort of fell off making those because I started focusing on my own writing more seriously, so I never finished that series, but I'm thinking about going back to it. Anyway, let's get into today's rewrite. So here is the Ask.fm post in question. I'm actually currently writing a novel. It is taking me years, but then again, I have major writer's block most of the time. Writing is my passion, but the block is real. I hate it. But for fun, my girlfriend wanted me to come up with a short vampire story. Here it is. The thrill and pleasure of dicing my purely white fangs into someone's neck is almost intoxicating. The thought possesses my mind almost 24/7. As I lay my fit-for-me coffin, as I dodge the ray of sunlight, as I gently say no to garlic, there is rarely a moment, sweet, satisfying, yet bitter blood and human flesh isn't haunting my mind. Making my way through the alley in desperate need of a victim, my dark evil eyes catch a glimpse of a woman around 30, cell phone to ear. My nose flares up with the seductive smell that is penetrating her young body. With one swift and fast movement, her phone is on the ground, lit up, and my fangs are digging into her skin, causing her to go limp, all while my body is thanking me for craving the thirst for human blood. Grammarlyn strikes again, guys. We are going to fix this the best we can, but first of all, before I get into the rewrite, I want to say this is not a short story. This is flash fiction. This is too short for a short story. This is like 200 words or something like that. It is flash fiction, not a short story. But semantics aside, let's get into the rewrite. All right, here we are. I have retyped this into my preferred word processor of choice, Novelpad, and we're going to get right into it. The thrill and pleasure of dicing my purely white fangs into someone's neck is almost intoxicating. So thrill and pleasure, they're not exactly the same word, but they are serving the same purpose here. We don't need both. Dicing, I think, is diving. I don't know why I'm changing that. I'm going to get rid of this entirely. Into someone's neck is almost intoxicating. Almost is really betraying how serious this is. It is just intoxicating, so we're going to get rid of that. And let's see what I can do here to finesse this a little bit. The thought of sinking my teeth, no, let's say fangs. Well, she says purely white fangs. I don't know that it matters what the teeth look like, but let's just say sharp fangs. Sharp fangs into someone's neck is intoxicating. I still don't like this as an opening. It's pretty lame, but I'm trying not to change her substance too much here. The thought possesses my mind almost 24/7. Here it is again. Almost. You're just making your statement less serious by saying that. So, and that's also redundant because we just said it's intoxicating, so we don't need this. It's saying the same thing we just said. But as I say that, I'm going to put it in anyway. It's all I can think about 24/7. You know what? No, that's actually still kind of lame. It consumes my thoughts 24/7. It's just so lame. You know what? We're going to change this. The thought of sinking my sharp fangs into someone's neck consumes my entire being nearly 24/7. So I know I had just said almost is making your statement less serious, but I put in a nearly in here because you're not going to be thinking about drinking blood all the time. We're just going to leave it like this because I'm going to drive myself crazy. As I lay in my fit-for-me coffin, I think she means custom, like a custom coffin. Fit for me is such a weird way to say that. So, as I lay in my custom coffin, let's say, well, you don't even need to know that it's custom. Like, if you buy a coffin, you're going to assume it fits right. So let's say something more descriptive about the coffin, like velvet lined. Yeah, let's make it silk, because velvet is gross. Okay, silk lined. She's a fancy vampire. As I lay in my silk-lined coffin, as I stay out of the sun, because as I dodge the ray of sunlight, makes it sound like there's a singular beam of light coming from the sky, like an alien tractor beam from a UFO or something. That sounds so weird to me, so we're not going to phrase it like that. As I gently say no to garlic, I think that is the weirdest way to say, like, I politely refuse. gently say no is just saying politely refuse in the weirdest way possible. So, as I politely refuse garlic. You know, this is actually really still lame, so I think I'm going to try to make this a little spicier. Spicy is not the right word, but as I avoid first dates at Olive Garden. You know, if we were doing this the full Amberlynn way, I would put Cheesecake Factory, but Olive Garden's an Italian restaurant. They've got garlicky food. All I can think about... Oh, let's see. What does she say here? There is rarely a moment sweet, satisfying, yet bitter blood and human flesh isn't haunting my mind. This is too many fucking words. There are too many words. Sweet, satisfying, bitter. It's too fucking much. Also, what vampire is eating human flesh? That makes it sound more like a vampire. Or, sorry, not a vampire. A zombie. Makes it sound like a zombie, not a vampire. Also, haunting is now suddenly changing the meaning. Because this up here, intoxicating, possesses, like it almost sounds like kind of a pleasant kind of obsession, not something that should be haunting you. So we're going to fix this. All I can think about is the sweet, warm taste. No, well, things don't taste warm. So let's see. Sweet is the taste of warm, delicious human blood. So we're getting rid of all this shit about sweet, satisfying, bitter blood. Because if you're drinking the blood, first of all, how can something be sweet and bitter? I'm not here for that. We're simplifying this shit. Okay. All I can think about is the taste of warm, delicious blood. Making my way through the alley. So this is like, I would make this another paragraph if I was writing this myself. So, making my way through the alley, I am thirstier than ever. So, getting rid of in desperate need of a victim. Because this is still, it's like making it sound too violent. And I don't know. The start didn't feel violent and then it becomes violent. So, we're just going to make it more tonally consistent if I can manage that. My dark, evil eyes catch a glimpse of a woman around 30, cell phone to ear. This reads as a fragment to me. I feel like it should be cell phone to, like, her ear, but we're going to change this. Also, what is dark, evil eyes? That's so weird. Why would you describe your own eyes? Like, you can't see your own eyes, so a character from first-person perspective describing their own eyes is very weird. So, we're just going to not include that. Like the seasoned predator I am, I immediately lock on to the nearest human. She's a woman in her the age of the woman also doesn't matter. So describing the age is not telling us anything about this woman. So I'm going to try to give her a little bit more character other than just her age. She's crouched by the dumpster, cell phone to her ear as she argues with whoever is on the other line. My nose flares with the seductive smell that is penetrating her young body. So she's around 30, but she's also young. Okay, I'm 25, I feel young, but it's weird to say she's 30 and then say she's young. It kind of feels contradictory. Not saying that people who are 30 are old, certainly not, but I wouldn't necessarily say that 30 is young. That's sort of semantic here, but we're going to try to change this. Also, nose, your nostrils flare, not your nose. My nostrils flare as I catch a whiff of her scent through the dumpster gas. No, we're not saying that. We're going to change this. The smell of the garbage. The alley reeks of garbage, but I catch a whiff of her. No, let's see. I don't like seductive smell, because I don't know how a smell can be seductive. That is weird to me. And I already used the word delicious. So let's say mouthwatering. but her mouth-watering smell cuts through. With one swift and fast movement, so swift and fast mean the same thing. So you don't need both. Swift implies fast. So we're cutting that shit. Let's see. With one swift movement, her phone is on the ground, lit up. Well, it would be lit up because she's using it. And my fangs are digging into her skin, blah, blah, blah. So let's see what we can do here. Darting down the... I don't want to say alley again. Let's say darting forward. Darting forward, I slam her against the dumpster, pinning her in place. Let's say the woman, because we didn't say that. I slam the woman against the dumpster, pinning her in place. My fangs dig into her neck. Let's say throat. Let's say jugular. Jugular. That's pretty badass. My fangs are digging into her skin, causing her to go limp. She didn't scream. Well, I guess, would she scream? Would you have a chance to scream? And my mouth fills with her warm blood. Before she can scream, I put my hand over her mouth. Let's see, because she wouldn't immediately go limp unless she's like really sucking this blood like a straw. So she's going to be fighting having this blood taken from her. And that sort of brings in more of the violence that Amberlynn was trying to like... I was getting this sort of sense that she wanted this to be a violent story, and I wasn't getting the violence. So let's see if we can fix that. She thrashes around trying to shake me off, but I drain her quickly. Her body goes limp as she crumples to the ground. Well, she's kind of already on the ground because I had her slam her into a dumpster. Her body goes limp as she crumples forward. I don't like the word forward. Her body goes limp and her cell phone clatters to the ground. Screen breaking. That's good enough. All while my body is thanking me for craving the thirst for human blood. That is so weird. I don't know what that means at all. Why would your body thank you for craving the thirst? First of all, do you crave the thirst? You would just thirst for human blood or crave human blood. You don't crave the thirst for blood. That is such a weird phrasing. Anyway, also, why would the body thank her for that when she previously said that it was a haunting kind of thought? So why are you thanking it if it also haunts you? It's just not tonally consistent. This is a terrible final line. So I just don't like it. With my free hand, because remember she did put one hand over her mouth. Well, actually, she's limp now, so we don't need that. I take my hand off her mouth and end her call. Because I had her on the phone. She's talking on the phone. So let's say that. I take my hand off her mouth and end her call before wiping my... Well, I don't want to say mouth twice. So dragging my hand over my lips, I wipe away any stray blood, now satisfied. This is still kind of a lame ending. Maybe we'll come up with something better, but it's better than all while my body is thanking me for craving the thirst for human blood. I don't like that at all. Let's get rid of all that, and let's read my version and see if we can do anything else to fix it up. The thought of sinking my sharp fangs into someone's neck consumes my entire being 24/7. As I lay in my silk-lined coffin, as I stay out of the sun, as I avoid first dates at Olive Garden, all I can think about is the taste of warm, delicious human blood. So it's still kind of lame, but I'm trying not to change her substance too much here. So as I stay out of the sun is just, it's not really doing it for me. So let's say, as I slather on sunscreen, because we're going to say she can walk around in the sun. She just needs sunscreen. There we go. We'll keep that. Making my way through the alley, I am thirstier than ever. Like the seasoned predator I am, I immediately lock on to the nearest human. This reads clunky to me, like the seasoned predator I am. Let's change it to this. Like a seasoned predator, I immediately lock on to the nearest human. She's crouched by the dumpster, cell phone to her ear as she argues with whoever is on the other line. The alley reeks of garbage, but her mouth-watering smell cuts through. Also, I said I was going to give her more character, but I didn't. I just said that she's crouching by a dumpster and arguing with someone. So let's give her a little bit more here. Her clothes are tattered and dirty. The alley reeks of garbage, but her mouth-watering smell cuts through the stench. Darting forward, I slam the woman against the dumpster, pinning her in place. My fangs dig into her jugular, and my mouth fills with her warm blood. Did I just say warm blood? Where did I say that? Yeah, warm, delicious blood. So I don't want to say warm blood again. Let's just say blood. Fills with her blood. Before she can scream, I put my hand over her mouth. She thrashes around, trying to shake me off, but I drain her quickly. Her body goes limp, and her cell phone clatters to the ground, screen breaking. I take my hand off her mouth and end her call. Dragging my hand over my lips, I wipe away any stray blood, now satisfied. Let's say drops of blood. Drops of blood. There we go. This is good enough, I think. It was not a masterpiece to begin with. It is certainly not a masterpiece now, but I think this maybe is a little better. You can let me know in the comments below. Do you like Amberlynn's version of her vampire short story, or do you prefer my version? I'm not going to be offended if you like Amberlynn's more. Writing is subjective. And with that said, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.